So we have a different type of video today. This isn't my usual genre to talk about or react to. The idea of this video came to me because I was scrolling TikTok and a sound from this movie was apparently, I thought was going viral until I clicked on the sound and saw that only 80 people had used the sound. So yeah, so I do not know what that says about my For You page, but okay. It immediately brought back memories of this movie to me, which this is a movie that I forgot about, to the point where I feel like this movie can also be put in the same category as the movie Robots, which is, I thought I made that movie. To me, Flushed Away and Robots are two movies that I watched when I was a kid that I honestly thought like I made them up in my head. Like, I was like, those aren't really movies, that was like something, that was a fever dream I once had and I made that movie up. No, it's real. It's real. I had this movie on DVD as a kid, so I liked this movie as a kid. Sorry. I've also given my best effort, even though it's not that good. I've also given my best effort that I'm giving main character from Flushed Away. Not the main character, but she's my main character. I'm giving the best Rita right now. It's not that good, but bear with me. So the movie today we are going to be talking about is 2006 Flushed Away. Now, people have their opinions about this movie. I don't get it. For those who don't know, Flushed Away is a movie by DreamWorks and the same people that created Wallace and Gromit, which is why the movie does look like claymation. However, the material that Wallace and Gromit are made from, obviously it's claymation, you can't mix clay with water, so they made the models but they edited it with CGI. No, don't get me wrong, a lot of people think this movie looks weird, but that is why. It's a CGI claymation about rats in the sewers. Bear with. Ratatouille who? What was it about early 2000s films that were just so... They were all a part of the rodent agenda. I don't know why. Don't know why. You've got this. I mean, you've got Flushed Away, you've got Ratatouille. What other rodent fests have you got going? I think you can name maybe 10 at the top of your heads right now. Comment down below. Fun fact I found out about this movie is originally this movie was nearly called Ratropolis, which I think is incredible. Which I think is such a good name. They should have kept it. They should have kept it. They should have called it Ratropolis and not Flushed Away, in my opinion, but that's an incredible name for this. According to a lot of people, this movie was apparently a flop and lost a lot of money. So when I looked at what the budget was for this movie, my jaw hit the damn floor, but it also was even more confused when I found out how much it made at the box office, because apparently the budget for Flushed Away was $149 million. Now, the question is, where did that $149 million go? Where did that movie go? You know, this is like a conversation I've seen people have in the past couple of years, which is when a movie talks about how much the budget was and then you watch the movie and you're like, so where did the budget go? And a lot of people have been having this discussion lately that a lot of movies may be money laundering schemes. I think this may be an example. I like this movie. I'm not hating. I'm just saying where did the $149 million go? But I think with this movie, I think the $149 million went to casting alone. We will get there. We will get there in just a minute. Apparently, at the box office, this movie made $178 million, which is more than the budget. So I don't get people that say this movie apparently was a flop. Maybe at the time, but I had it on DVD, so I didn't go. I don't know. But Rotten Tomatoes score 72%. Also 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. For those who do not know what this movie Flushed Away is about, you have neither had the pleasure of watching Flushed Away, you do not know what this movie is about. The synopsis of this movie is a pampered pet rodent gets flushed down the toilet to the underground city of Ratropolis and teams up with a shrewd sewer rat to figure a way home. Do you ever think about the synopsis of, like, especially early 2000s kids films in general, and you go, I know someone was on drugs. I know someone was on drugs coming up with the concept of some of these kids films when we were kids, because what? I think it's the same thing with Ratatouille though, like someone was on drugs coming up with the concept of Ratatouille, let's be honest. What do you mean, let's write a movie about a French rat who doesn't have a French accent, by the way, who has an American accent, who lives underneath Paris but has a gift for cooking and then becomes a chef and opens his own restaurant. What I will say about this movie, the cast for this movie, stacked. Are you ready for this? The main, in my opinion, not the main character, but the main character is called Roddy St. James. I will let that name settle with you for a couple of minutes. What the fuck is that? Who is played by the one and only Hugh Jackman. Then we have my main character of this movie, Rita, who is voiced by Kate Winslet. And one thing about Rita, she is not like other girls. Rita is, and if I said Rita is the Lara Croft Tomb Raider of the sewers, do you see the vision? Thank you. She also is the captain of a ship called the Jammy Dodger, which I have all the time in the world for. I love that. The next casting of this movie, insane. We have Ian McKellen as the villain in this movie, the Toad. According to IMDb, a tyrannical, pompous and aristocratic cane toad. We also have in this movie Andy Serkis, who plays Spike, who is one of the Toad's henchmen, and he is quick-witted and aggressive. Then we also have Bill Nye, not the science guy, as Whitey, who is another henchman of Toad, and Whitey is an albino rat and Spike's partner. Unlike Spike, Whitey is sympathetic and less vicious, but is also ignorant and gullible. And another insane casting in this movie, Shane Ritchie, who voices Sid. Now, yes, that is, do not adjust your television sets, that is Archie Moon. That is Archie Moon from EastEnders. What do you mean? And Sid is an overweight and lazy sewer rat from the sewer drain. And then one of the best characters in this entire movie, I did not know this until I looked this up, Rita's grandmother, who is voiced by Miriam Margolyes. I didn't know this until I looked this up. Oh my god. So, let's go girls, let's get into it. This movie opens in Kensington, London. We see a family that are running around because they're going on vacation. And the daughter is running around to make sure to check on her pet and to make sure that she has fed Roddy. Immediately, I have things to say. Number one, we do not see humans in this movie. Particularly, we don't see humans' faces in this movie, which I think is a strange way. We see like this family running around the house. We don't see their faces though, which, okay. Number two, why are you leaving a mountain of food for your pet when you were going on vacation for a couple of days? Why is no one looking after your pet? Because you're going on holiday. Why is nobody looking after your pet? You live in Kensington, you can afford a pet sitter. I know it's a rat. You can afford a pet sitter. You are an apple baby of Kensington. You live in Kensington, I don't think you're short of money. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, moving on. We see that Roddy lives in a giant golden cage. Literally, I thought it was a bird cage. First time watching this movie, I remember thinking, that's a bird cage. Roddy's a bird. So imagine my surprise when Roddy St. James, voiced by Hugh Jackman, is a fucking rat. Also, there is an Easter egg in this scene where we see the cage for the first time, because if you look in the corner, there is a stuffed toy of Gromit from Wallace and Gromit. So that's a fun Easter egg if you guys didn't know. Immediately, again, I have things to say about this. My first immediate problem with this movie is, what do you mean? A family that own a house in Kensington, London, have a pet rat. Do you get what I'm saying? My notes I wrote when I was rewatching this movie, there is no way a nepo baby of Kensington has a pet rat of all animals. The kid's name is literally Tabitha. I could easily have guessed she goes to private school. She would have a rare macaw, if anything, let's be honest. I'm just saying, it's not, to me, not realistic that a nepo baby of Kensington has a pet rat. That is a problem I have, and we will get there as another moment this type of problem comes up later on in this film, and I will talk about it. That's my, like, number one problem with this movie. I know people have opinions about how this movie looked. My number one problem is the fact that I don't think it's realistic that a trust fund baby of Kensington as a pet rat. I do not buy it. You have 5 horses. Don't piss me off. Anyway, we soon find out that Hugh Jackman rat has no friends, so he plays with dolls all day. But we'll say he does have great hair. Also, I found out an alarming fact about this movie, that apparently Roddy St. James is modelled after Matty Healy from 1975. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? We can move on from that very fucking fast. So we see Hugh Jackman rat has no friends. He plays with dolls all day. He's playing with Ken and Barbie and the rest of the fucking gang. And also in this scene is also another Easter egg. In this scene where he is trying on clothes, he pulls out Wallace's outfit from Wallace and Gromit, and then he's also pulls out Wolverine's original costume that he's umming and ahhing between wearing. Between that and the Elvis costume, and there's one for the nerds there, if you don't know, guys. We then soon meet Sid, an overweight, lazy sewer rat voiced by Archie Moon from EastEnders. I never knew that until I looked this movie up. It's so funny. Who has climbed up the pipes to Roddy's house, and let's just say, one thing about Sid, he is classic lads, loves pints, loves the pub, loves the football. And he especially loves the football because the World Cup game is happening between England versus Germany today. Yay! Oosh, oosh, oosh. I couldn't care less. I'm joking, I couldn't care less. And Roddy absolutely hates his guts. Roddy is overstimulated and wants a bit of peace and quiet, and he hates Sid's guts with a burning passion. He's dirty, he's lazy, he's eating everything he comes in contact with. Roddy's like, I have an idea. You can watch the World Cup game from the jacuzzi. He tries to trick Sid into thinking that the jacuzzi is the toilet. Sid's not stupid. You know, but one thing about Sid, he's not that stupid, you know what I mean? Like, one thing about Sid, he's not that fucking stupid. He knows what a toilet, when he sees a toilet, he knows what it is. So instead, he pushes Roddy into the toilet, and he flushes him down to the sewers. Thus, the name of this movie is born, I guess. So, Roddy is flushed down to, God forbid, Ratropolis, which is basically a mini rat-sized London down there. So then we see Roddy is in the middle of Ratropolis and he's having a panic attack. He's having a panic attack. He's never been out the ass before. He's having a nightmare in the sewers. And somebody mentions to him, I know someone who could get you back up top. The captain, the Jammy Dodger. I'm going to do some awful accents in this video, just a warning. Roddy quickly finds the boat, the Jammy Dodger, where we meet the main character, Rita.
Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude, Mr. Captain Skipper Thingy.
Hey, that's Miss Captain Skipper Thingy to you.
Who's a streetwise, not like other girls, scavenger rat, who is also hiding from some dodgy rats. She is Lara Croft. Would any of ye like to argue with this statement? I don't think so. The dodgy rats in question are the henchmen, Andy Serkis and Bill Nye. Spike and Whitey quickly get onto the Jammy Dodger and are having a conversation with Rita. And one of the ongoing jokes in this movie, which is the reason why I decided to make this video, is hilarious. Like, I think when you're a kid, you don't find this funny. As an adult, I was fully chuckling rewatching this. Which is one of the ongoing jokes throughout this entire movie is Roddy is clearly, he's never been out of the house before. He's having a panic attack anytime a rat comes near him, let's be honest. And he's telling them, it's not me, I'm innocent. I'm an innocent bystander.
Whatever's going on here, I assure you I'm not involved. I'm an innocent bystander.
Who have we got here? I believe he said his name was Millicent Bystander. Millicent!
Which is such a stupid joke, but it genuinely makes me laugh. I don't know if, like, I think as a kid that would, like, go over your head, but it's an ongoing joke for this movie, and it makes me laugh every single time. Yeah, this is also the birth of this scene.
It's in here somewhere. I can feel it in my guts. That'll be last night's curry, Spike. I'm the same. I've got a bum like a Japanese flag.
So Whitey and Spike are after the ruby that Rita has stolen off the Toad. Again, as I said, she's Lara Croft, guys. As I said, Lara Croft. They quickly find where she has hidden the ruby and they take Roddy and Rita to meet the boss, the kingpin, the godfather, we want to call him. This is where we meet Ian McKellen, Toad.
You might help me out of the pickle I'm in.
One thing about the Toad, he is obsessed with royalty for some reason and has a lot of memorabilia that people have flushed away, I guess. And then Roddy accidentally destroys all the memorabilia because he insults the Toad. So Toad orders them to get iced. Thought of this as Godfather. However, Rita and Roddy are two, again, she is Lara Croft, she can escape any situation. And as they are escaping, Rita steals the master cable to zip line out of there.
Put that back! Wait. It'll never hold both of us.
You're right. Toodaloo.
So Roddy and Rita escape to the Jammy Dodger. And Roddy quickly finds out that the ruby that she stole isn't real because he shatters it because it's made out of glass, and he says real rubies don't shatter.
There, you see? I mean, you can't break a real ruby.
And Rita is obviously absolutely livid with him because he's just smashed the ruby. And Rita says her dad broke all the bones in his body trying to get that ruby. So then Roddy tells Rita that he has a jewellery box at home filled with real diamonds and real rubies. So if she gets him home, she'll be rich and he'll give them to her. Question, how does a rat know he's got real diamonds and real rubies in the house? Yeah, Roddy's like, I'm a Nepo baby. I have a trust fund. I went to private school. You are utter working class trash. You are working class trash and don't know a real ruby from a fake ruby. It's kind of embarrassing. It's very much the attitude Roddy gives, I'm not gonna lie. However, we do see after this that the Toad does not care about the ruby anymore. He just wants the master cable back because it's a part of his final plan. So Roddy and Rita go to her home and it's an absolute madhouse because she has a bajillion younger siblings. It's not a joke. She also lives there with her mother and her father. One of my favourite callbacks of this is when we see her father. We see that he is in a full body cast and in a wheelchair because he broke all the bones in his body trying to get the ruby. And also her grandmother live in this house, and she is one of my favourite characters in this movie. And one of the kids noticed that Roddy is stood outside the window watching them, and he says, "There's a peeping Tom outside." Another incredible ongoing joke in this movie is the grandmother thinks that Roddy is Tom Jones. Which made me giggle because I am a fellow Welshie, so I have all the time in the world. Because grandmother is so convinced that that's Tom Jones, at one point Roddy is on top of the table singing Tom Jones songs, so.
Oh, sing us a song, Tom.
But then Roddy overhears Rita's younger brother scheming a plan to give him back to the Toad, so he steals the Jammy Dodger. However, Rita quickly finds him and takes back the Jammy Dodger, because she is Lara Croft. We've been over this, guy. There's also a bit throughout this entire movie, another one, that the slugs are always singing in the sewers.
Poor Roddy flushed out his own party. Rita, can't you find it in your heart
To help him.
They are harmonising. They're giving Glee cast. Then, all of a sudden, Rita and Roddy are suddenly chased by the henchmen who are on whisks.
Get 'em, lads.
We also get another incredible scene from Whitey and Spike.
These things are supposed to be dangerous. Danger is my middle name. I thought it was Leslie.
We are then introduced to, I don't know if I'm saying his name correctly, Jean Reno, who plays Le Frog, who is the Toad's Kung Fu French cousin. That is a sentence no one has ever uttered on this planet. What are you talking about? Number one, why is he French? Number two, why does your French frog cousin know Kung Fu? And the Toad gets his French cousin to help him get back the Master Cable to complete his evil plan. And here is where we learn the Toad's backstory. Now guys, strap on. Strap in, strap on. Do we want to do? Because I hope you're buckled in. That's all I'm going to say for this. So, the Toad's backstory. You're like, how did he become the godfather, this evil mastermind? Turns out, the Toad was one of many pets in Buckingham Palace, but he was Charles's favourite. Question mark, question mark. And essentially, they were besties. They did everything together. Up until Charles's birthday, where he was given a pet rat. Question mark, a question mark. And what I've wrote in my note here, word for word. And his head was turned, so Charles decided to couple up with a rat, and the Toad was dumped from the island, aka his butler flushed him down the toilet, and that's how he's here. That is my main problem with this movie, is that I do not buy for 5 seconds that the private schooled, nepo babied, royalty, trust funded children of Kensington and any other royal borough is having pet rats or pet frogs. I have a very tough time believing any of this. Sorry. It's my main thing I do not understand with this movie. It's my main problem with this movie. Like, no, you have 5 horses. Do not piss me off. Yep, and then the next scene, it's basically immediately established that Rita and Roddy are now in love with each other. So, okay. Next thing you know, the French have invaded the Jammy Dodger to get the Master Cable back. So, the Toad's grand master plan, and then Rita and Roddy have to abandon the Jammy Dodger because it's going to fall down the waterfall into the nether regions of the sewers, I guess. So they have to parachute out and are now flying over Kensington using a plastic bag as they parachute. And somehow Roddy knows what his house looks like from outside, or the outside of Kensington. Why does the rat know what a sky view of London looks like? 1. Number 2, I thought he's never been out the house before, so. Also, 3, how does he know what house number he is? He's counting the house numbers for what chimney they land in. Guys, realism doesn't exist in this movie. All of a sudden, they land in the chimney of Roddy's house and they roll out of the fireplace like Santa Claus. Roddy immediately takes Rita to the jewellery box and gives her a real ruby. I still cannot get over that. Anyway, Rita quickly realises that Roddy lives in a cage. She's not free at all. He lives in a cage and he's all alone. He has no family up top. They also quickly bump into Sid, who is obviously sat on his fat ass watching the football because he hasn't moved an inch and he's ate the entire house. Yeah, I think if you think of it a bit deeper, this movie is a commentary on the class system, let's be honest here. So Rita's gone. She's gone back to Ratropolis to live out her days, and Sid and Roddy are watching the World Cup final, and Sid mentions that he is waiting until half time to use the bathroom because he's bursting, and immediately Roddy quickly figures out what the Toad's grandmaster plan is, that he's waiting until half time to open the floodgates in the sewers. Also, to add to this, the henchmen have caught Rita on her way back down to the sewers and they bring her back to the Toad, and Roddy realises he prefers to be around the working class, so he goes back down the sewers. He asks Sid to flush him back down the toilet. Yeah, and Roddy quickly finds Rita and the Toad and the French henchmen. And here we get, again guys, I want you to strap in, strap on, buckle yourselves in, ready for this. We get the Toad's grandmaster plan, which is fully revealed. His plan is to flush all of the rats out of Ratropolis and repopulate the sewer with his millions of tadpole babies.
I shall repopulate the city! with these. Nasty.
This movie is a horror movie. I feel like if we change the music up a bit, it's a horror movie. What do you mean the toad wants to commit? Can't say it on YouTube. Rhymes with pesticide. Starts with a G. What do you mean? What do you mean? This is a kid's film, guys. This is a kid's film. Have you all forgotten that? It's like, right. Rita and Roddy quickly escape from the toad and his Le French henchmen because they kind of suck. And they escape just as the whistle for the halftime goes off. For some reason, there's hydrogen peroxide in the sewers, and they use it to freeze all of the henchmen. And they also freeze the toad to the pipe as the flood is coming through the floodgates. Just as the wave is about to hit all of the rats in Ratropolis city centre, it freezes. It freezes from the hydrogen peroxide, and we get this reaction from the people of Ratropolis.
Hooray for Millicent Bystander! Millicent!
The last scene of this movie is just feels like a movie. Do you know what I mean? The slugs are now singing Proud Mary. That is a sentence I never thought I'd ever say in my life, but here we are. Roddy and Rita, along with her entire family, are building the Jammy Dodger 2. So Roddy, Rita, her mother, her father, her grandmother, who still thinks he is Tom Jones, and her bajillion siblings, are all on this small boat and are off at full speed and are off at supersonic speed through the sewers on another adventure because she is Lara Croft, and they lived happily ever after. I personally feel like I just dropped acid for the first time in my entire life. What do you mean? But yeah, that is the Oscar award-winning movie Flushed Away. Guys, I just needed to talk about this movie because that TikTok sound brought back a million memories of this movie, because I feel like Flushed Away is one of those movies that, you know, you watched as a kid and you completely forgot existed, but then you were like, I'm pretty certain I made that movie up. Because, as I said, there was like something about the rodent movement of the early 2000s. Why was every movie a rodent film? But anyway, yeah, this video was different to my usual types of videos I make. No shit. Yeah, I hope you guys had fun revisiting this horror movie from our childhood. If you guys did like this video, please like and subscribe. I know it's very different to what I usually talk about, but there we are. Yeah, comment down below if this was your favourite rodent film of the early 2000s. Yeah, but anyway, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.